It was a quiet evening in a suburban neighborhood. Mia and Ryan had been married for 8 years. Their lives comfortably settled into a routine. Ryan worked long hours at his corporate job, while Mia, a freelance graphic designer, spent her days at home. They loved each other but had grown complacent over the years. Their conversations often limited to bills, errands, and daily logistics. Mia had recently reconnected with an old friend, Daniel, through a professional networking site. They'd attended college together, and their messages began innocently enough, shared memories, updates about mutual acquaintances, and industry chatter. Over time, though, their conversations grew deeper and more personal. Mia found herself looking forward to their late-night chats, her heart racing when her phone lit up with his name. Ryan, meanwhile, had been keeping a secret of his own. Over the past 6 months, he developed a bond with a co-worker named Claire. What started as harmless banter during coffee breaks had escalated into flirtatious texts and secret meetings after work. Claire was vibrant and spontaneous, qualities that Ryan felt were missing in his marriage. One Friday evening, Ryan told Mia he'd be working late, but he was actually meeting Claire at a nearby restaurant. Unbeknownst to him, Mia had also made plans with Daniel to meet for coffee. As she got ready, she felt a mix of guilt and excitement, rationalizing her actions by convincing herself it was just a friendly meeting. That night, both Mia and Ryan found themselves distracted. Ryan couldn't shake the image of Mia's face when he left the house, while Mia kept glancing at her phone, half hoping Ryan would text to check on her. Daniel noticed her unease, asking if everything was okay. She brushed it off, but her forced smile didn't go unnoticed. Back at the restaurant, Claire was becoming increasingly bold, leaning in closer to Ryan, her hand brushing his. For a moment, he allowed himself to enjoy the attention, but was suddenly overcome by a pang of guilt. He excused himself and stepped outside for air. Meanwhile, Mia had finished her coffee with Daniel and was on her way home. As she drove, memories of her early days with Ryan flooded her mind. Their laughter, their shared dreams, and the promises they'd made to each other. She realized she had been chasing something that might already exist, buried beneath layers of routine and neglect. When she walked through the front door, she was surprised to find Ryan sitting on the couch, looking lost in thought. He glanced up, his expression a mix of relief and guilt. Without saying a word, Mia sat down beside him. The silence was heavy but not uncomfortable. Finally, Ryan broke the silence. "We need to talk," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Mia nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. For the first time in years, they spoke openly and honestly about their feelings, their disappointments, and their fears. They admitted to their emotional infidelities, their shared loneliness, and their desire to rebuild what they had nearly lost. That night marked a turning point in their relationship. It wasn't easy, but they committed to working on their marriage, rediscovering the love and connection that had once been the foundation of their bond. Through therapy, patience, and mutual effort, they began to heal, proving that even the deepest wounds can mend with time and understanding. As the days turned into weeks, Mia and Ryan made small but significant changes in their daily lives. They decided to start with simple things. Having dinner together without distractions, sharing stories about their day, and setting aside time to just be with each other. At first, the conversations felt a little forced, like they were relearning how to connect. But over time, the walls they had built between them began to crumble. Ryan made an effort to leave work on time, prioritizing Mia and their time together over late-night meetings or unnecessary overtime. Mia, in turn, set boundaries with her freelance projects so she could be fully present when Ryan was home. They also agreed to be transparent about their interactions with Daniel and Claire. It was awkward and uncomfortable at first, but it helped rebuild the trust they had lost. One evening, Ryan suggested they revisit a hobby they used to enjoy together: cooking. They spent hours in the kitchen experimenting with recipes, laughing over failed attempts and celebrating their small successes. It became their new tradition, a reminder of how well they could work as a team when they put their hearts into it. Mia also suggested going to couples therapy. Though hesitant at first, Ryan agreed, knowing it was an important step in their healing process. Therapy became a space where they could express their fears, frustrations, and hopes with the guidance of a neutral third party. It was in one of these sessions that Ryan admitted how much he had missed Mia's laughter, and Mia confessed how much she had yearned for Ryan's attention. Their journey wasn't without setbacks. There were moments of doubt, arguments that left them emotionally drained, and lingering insecurities that threatened to pull them apart again. But every time they faltered, they reminded themselves why they were trying so hard. They still loved each other, even if they had momentarily forgotten how to show it. As the months went by, they began to feel more like partners again, not just two people coexisting under the same roof. Ryan surprised Mia with spontaneous date nights, and Mia left little notes for Ryan in his briefcase, reminding him of how proud she was of him. They started to dream together again, planning trips they'd always talked about but never pursued. One day, as they sat on the couch reminiscing about their early days, Ryan took Mia's hand and looked into her eyes. "I almost lost you," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "But I promise, I'll never take you for granted again." Mia smiled, squeezing his hand. "And I'll never stop fighting for us," she replied. Their story wasn't about perfection or avoiding mistakes. It was about resilience and the choice to keep trying. Together, they proved that love isn't just a feeling. It's a decision, one they made every single day. Life continued to test Mia and Ryan in unexpected ways, but the foundation they had rebuilt grew stronger with each challenge. They learned to communicate more openly, not just about their fears and insecurities, but also about their desires and aspirations. One evening, Mia surprised Ryan with a scrapbook she had been working on. It was filled with pictures, ticket stubs, and little notes from the early years of their relationship. As Ryan flipped through the pages, he felt a wave of nostalgia and gratitude. "You kept all of this?" he asked, his voice tinged with awe. "Of course," Mia replied, smiling. "It's a reminder of where we started, and I thought we could add to it, together." That night, they sat down and started writing about their recent journey, the struggles they overcame, the moments of joy they rediscovered, and their hopes for the future. It became a ritual, a way to honor their past while celebrating their present and looking forward to what lay ahead. Mia also reconnected with her passion for painting, something she had neglected for years. Ryan encouraged her, even converting a corner of their spare room into a small art studio. In return, Mia pushed Ryan to pursue a long-forgotten dream of his own, learning to play the guitar. They supported each other's growth, recognizing that a strong partnership allowed space for individuality. Occasionally, the ghosts of their emotional infidelities resurfaced. A stray thought about Daniel or Claire, a moment of doubt about whether they were truly enough for each other. But instead of letting those feelings fester, they talked about them. Each time, they chose honesty over avoidance, reaffirming their commitment to one another. A turning point came during a trip to the countryside, something they had planned as part of their effort to create new memories. One evening, as they sat by a crackling fire, Ryan turned to Mia. "Do you think we would have made it through if we hadn't been honest about everything?" he asked. Mia thought for a moment before answering. "I don't think so. But I also think those mistakes forced us to see what we were missing, what we've been taking for granted. It's not just honesty that saved us. It's the choice we made to keep going, even when it was hard." Ryan nodded, his gaze softening. "I'm glad we did. I can't imagine life without you." As they leaned into each other, the weight of their shared journey seemed to lift, replaced by a sense of peace. Their marriage was far from perfect, but it was real, grounded in love, effort, and a renewed understanding of what it meant to truly be partners. Over the years, Mia and Ryan continued to face challenges, as all couples do. But their ability to adapt, to forgive, and to grow together became their greatest strength. They weren't just surviving their marriage anymore. They were thriving in it, and that made all the difference. As time passed, Mia and Ryan's love deepened in ways neither had anticipated. They embraced the lessons from their journey and used them to strengthen their bond, navigating life's twists and turns together. One day, While organizing their home, they came across a forgotten box of keepsakes from their wedding. Inside were handwritten letters they had exchanged on the morning of their big day, sealed in envelopes they had planned to open on their 10th anniversary. "Can you believe we almost forgot about these?" Mia said, holding up the letters with a smile. Ryan grinned. "Perfect timing. Our 10th anniversary is just around the corner." On the morning of their anniversary, they sat together on the porch, sipping coffee as the sun rose. With a mixture of excitement and curiosity, they opened the letters. Ryan's letter to Mia spoke of his dreams for their future, his belief in her strength, and his vow to always cherish her. Reading his younger self's words, Ryan felt a pang of emotion, realizing how far they had come. Mia's letter, in turn, was filled with promises to stand by Ryan through every challenge and her unwavering hope that their love would grow stronger with time. Tears welled in her eyes as she read the words, the weight of their journey making them even more meaningful. When they finished, Ryan reached for Mia's hand. "We've had our share of struggles, but reading this, I realize we've kept our promises. Maybe not perfectly, but we've never stopped trying." Mia smiled, her voice soft. "And that's what matters. We've built something stronger than I ever thought possible." To celebrate their anniversary, they decided to renew their vows in a small, intimate ceremony with close friends and family. Unlike their wedding, this event was less about perfection and more about authenticity. They wrote their vows together, reflecting on their shared history and reaffirming their commitment to the future. During the ceremony, Mia looked into Ryan's eyes and spoke with heartfelt sincerity. "Ryan, we've laughed, we've cried, and we've stumbled. But through it all, we've chosen each other. I promise to keep choosing you, every single day." Ryan took a deep breath before responding. "Mia, you've taught me what love really means. It's not just about the good times. It's about weathering the storms together. I promise to keep learning, growing, and loving you with all that I am." As they exchanged rings once more, surrounded by the people who had supported them through their journey, they felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Their love wasn't perfect, but it was real, tested by challenges and strengthened by perseverance. In the years that followed, Mia and Ryan continued to nurture their relationship. They celebrated life's joys, supported each other through its hardships, and always made time to connect. Their story became a testament to the power of forgiveness, communication, and the enduring strength of love. Though their journey had its share of pain, it also brought them an unshakable bond. Together, they proved that love isn't about never falling. It's about always choosing to rise hand in hand.